What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Julia. I'm a certified personal trainer and I share all things health, fitness, and my lifestyle on here, on Instagram and on TikTok. So make sure you're subscribed and follow along. Today's video is gonna be a little Whole Foods grocery restock in conjunction with sharing my go-to meals, snacks, recipes, all of the meals and snacks you guys are constantly asking about that I feature in different full days of eating. I'm gonna try to compile them all into this video, my go-tos, not every recipe I've ever made, but like my tried and true recipes that I consistently make over and over again, utilizing all of the groceries that I just ordered. So I placed a Whole Foods delivery order. It should be here any second. As soon as the groceries arrive, I'm gonna show you guys everything, talk through all of the items, what I'm gonna be using them for, and then throughout the week, as I make my go-to tried and true recipes, I'm gonna be sharing everything with you guys. So stay tuned. All right, perfect timing. Groceries just got delivered. Little Scotty girl is there in the corner. But I'm gonna take everything out of the bags and try to group it all into like sections based on the recipes I'm gonna be using the different ingredients for. You'll see in like 2 seconds. All right, everything is laid out. Let's go through it, starting with kind of the random oddball additions. I was very lazy, so this is basically my lunch today. I am not a chicken salad fan, but the Whole Foods chicken salad is so freaking good. So I just grabbed one of these and some pita crackers to go with it. But then moving into like our necessities that I try to always keep stocked up. Dave's Killer Bread, string cheese, this is actually for Scotty, sourdough bread, dark chocolate chunks. I've been making homemade chocolate chip cookies and I like to put these in them instead of normal chocolate chips. Dark chocolate peanut butter cups, I just like to keep these in the freezer in case I ever want a little sweet treat. Granny Smith apples, pineapple, frozen tropical fruit, frozen spinach, honey. That goes into my tropical smoothie. I always keep Olipops in stock in our mini fridge. Whole milk, of course, gotta go with my warm chocolate chip cookies that I make. Maple syrup, because every single morning I do a maple latte. Chobani vanilla, I actually put this in my tropical smoothie as well. Chobani plain for Scotty, our puppy. Eggs, feta, butter, and I think I already went over all of this. So then moving into the next, I guess you could say, recipe, I'm gonna be using all of this to make some chili at some point during this video. You guys will see it. I always like to do chips with my chili, so hence why you see tortilla chips, but some jalapenos, Cholula hot sauce, ground beef, some cheese to go on top. I am out of onion powder, so I needed to stock up on that. Crushed tomatoes, diced tomatoes, and black beans. This right here is for a sausage, pepper, onion pasta recipe that I love to make. Got some pasta. I normally do the hot Italian pork sausage, but for some reason when you order online, mild is the only option. So went with the mild. I'll spice it up a little bit with the seasonings. Some bell peppers, red, yellow, and orange, sweet yellow onion, and then some cheese to go on top of all of that. And then moving down, this is for my crunchy chili shrimp bowl. This is actually shrimp. This is the crunchy chili onion sauce stuff. It is amazing. If you like spicy stuff, you gotta get it. There is a way cheaper one at Trader Joe's, but since I was ordering, I got the Whole Foods version. Avocado, lime, mini cucumber, rice. I have everything else needed for the bowl. There are other ingredients like peanuts, edamame, but I already have those in stock. Also, we'll be using the mini cucumber for gyro bowls. I will also be using the rice as well, but chicken, tzatziki, feta cheese, lettuce, red onion. And that wraps up the entire Whole Foods grocery restocks. And now I have to put all of this away. But I love grocery shopping so much, and grocery delivery is honestly the most convenient thing in the entire world. I used to think people who did grocery delivery were like so lazy, but now I realize it is such a time and money saver. Even though you have to pay for delivery, I truly think it saves me so much money because I'm not wandering through the aisles, grabbing random things that I don't need. I literally basically like copy and paste my order every single time I place a delivery order, unless there's like certain recipes that I wanna make that I haven't made in a while, like chili. I did not make chili at all this past summer, but now that it's like starting to cool down, I want some chili. But typically I just buy the exact same things every single time I place an order, and it truly saves me so much money because whenever I go into a grocery store like Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, I find myself randomly grabbing things that I did not go in there for and I don't need. So even though I pay for delivery, I do think I am saving money, and maybe that's just my justification, but also like time is money. It saves me so much time. So I am a huge, huge lover of grocery delivery now. I'm sorry to all the people I ever judged for getting their groceries delivered because it's truly the greatest thing ever. All right, dinner is served, which means it is time to share recipe number 1 with you guys, my crunchy chili shrimp bowl. I've shared this on Instagram, it's on my app. I'm obsessed with it and I keep making it on repeat, so it had to be the first recipe I share with you guys. All you need, rice, shrimp, edamame, cucumber, avocado, peanuts, lime juice, and the crunchy chili onion stuff. So I guess that is actually a lot of ingredients, but it comes together so freaking quick. You're gonna cook your rice. I use a rice cooker, 2-to-1 ratio. However much rice you do, double that amount of water, turn the rice cooker on. So simple. I cook my shrimp right on the stovetop. I season with salt, pepper, garlic powder. I do the edamame in the microwave. I buy frozen edamame from Whole Foods, and then I literally just follow the instructions on the bag, heats them up in the microwave, it's good to go. Dice up your avocado however you please, squeeze some of that on top. Cut up your cucumber. I like to do like thin little slices, sprinkle some peanuts on, squeeze some lime juice on, and then do however much of the crunchy chili onion stuff your little heart desires. I love stuff super hot, so I do a lot. Make this recipe however you please. It is so freaking good, so satisfying. This bowl is dense, okay? There's a lot going on, but it always leaves me so satiated and it is absolutely delicious. All right, it's time for dessert, so I figured I may as well just make the homemade chocolate chip cookies I chatted about earlier. This recipe has been my go-to ever since I found it because it is so quick and easy and it does not require chilling the dough. No one has time to wait for cookie dough to chill. Like if you want warm, fresh chocolate chip cookies, you want them right then and there. And that is exactly what this recipe gives you. I have already preheated my oven to 350 degrees and I have lined 2 baking sheets with parchment paper. All you need in terms of like the actual recipe, and yes, I do follow recipes and instructions when it comes to baked goods. I don't measure anything else when I am cooking, but baked goods, I have learned that you have to measure and you have to follow instructions. So you're gonna need 1 stick of melted butter. I already melted mine, clearly it is in that bowl. You are also gonna need a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of like white granulated cane sugar. You're gonna need 1 large egg. You are gonna need a teaspoon of vanilla extract, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, also a 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and then the recipe calls for a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips, but I never measure the chocolate chips, okay? Those I just dump in as much as I please. And like I mentioned earlier, I use the dark chocolate chunks that I get at Whole Foods. And then if you wanna sprinkle some salt on top once they're on your cookie sheet, you can do that too. But in terms of the actual instructions, preheat your oven, melt your butter, then you're gonna whisk in the 2 sugars, then whisk in the egg, then the vanilla extract, then you're gonna sprinkle in the baking soda and salt, then the flour, and then your dough is all put together, and then you can just grab your actual individual cookies, however you want to do them, scoop them out however you want to do them, put them on your cookie sheet, pop them in the oven. This says 9 to 10 minutes. I guess I make really big cookies because typically it does not make as many as this says. This says about 20 cookies worth. I probably get like 12, so yeah, I definitely make really big cookies, and normally it takes like 16 minutes for them to be like perfectly golden brown. So do with that information what you will, but let's make some cookies. All right, fresh out the shower, and I present you with nothing new. You guys have seen this smoothie like 100 times. It is on my app. I've shared it on Instagram. All you need is spinach, frozen tropical fruit. The frozen tropical fruit medley from Whole Foods is the best of the best. I've tried other ones. Nothing compares to the Whole Foods one. You're also gonna need some water, some Greek yogurt. I like vanilla Greek yogurt just because it adds some sweetness, some honey. I do a scoop of collagen, and that is literally it. It is so freaking good. Blend and enjoy. All right, we are back, and that last recipe I showed you, as well as this recipe, are 2 recipes that I have every single day of my life. Like without fail, my tropical smoothie and my feta eggs on sourdough. All you need for this recipe, sourdough bread, eggs, feta, and then whatever you cook your eggs in, and then if you like to put salt on your eggs, salt too. I typically just cook my eggs in a little bit of butter. I put some butter in the pan, and then I put some feta in the pan. Once the feta kind of like starts getting a little bit crispy. Then I crack my eggs on top. Then once they're ready to flip, I flip them. Then once they are done, I put them on top of my toasted sourdough. You can either do that route, or you can crack your eggs in the pan first, then sprinkle feta on top, then flip them, then put them on top of your toasted sourdough. The world is really your oyster. You can make this recipe however you please, but feta with eggs on sourdough, it is an elite combination, and if you haven't tried it yet, I highly recommend. Like I said, I make it every single day of my life. Okay, wow, excuse my appearance. Currently making dinner, and I'm doing the sausage, pepper, onion pasta that I talked about. This recipe is already on my app and it's super simple, so I feel like I don't need to go into that much detail. Literally all you need: red, yellow, orange bell peppers, onion, pasta, and then some ground Italian pork sausage. Also a little bit of olive oil, and then whatever seasonings you like to use. But all I did was slice up all of my peppers, my onion, saute them in a pan with some olive oil, a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic powder. You really don't need to season much, just because the pork sausage is super flavorful, at least the one from Whole Foods is. Once all of my peppers and onions were sauteed and softened, I took them off the pan, and then I put the pork sausage in the pan to cook that. Once the pork sausage was completely cooked, I did add some pepper and red pepper flakes to it. But once the sausage was done cooking, I added the peppers and onions back in. Those are just kind of like soaking up the flavors right now together while my pasta is boiling. Once my pasta is done, I'm just gonna toss some pasta into the pan and dinner will be served. Once again, I never measure anything. I literally just eyeball the pasta to sausage and pepper ratio, really just whatever my little heart desires. I do usually just do an entire red pepper, entire yellow pepper, entire orange pepper, entire onion, just so I don't have leftovers of those things. And I kind of like cut them to be the same size as the pasta, if that makes sense. And I always do the whole pound of the pork sausage. If we have leftovers, we have leftovers, but normally there is definitely some leftover plain pasta that doesn't make it into the pan with the sausage, peppers, and onions. I feel like I just made that so much more confusing. Do however much of all of the ingredients that you want. All right, I don't even know what number recipe this is, but my chili is currently simmering. It is almost done. Literally all I do to make my chili, this recipe is on my app as well, but I just cook some ground beef in the same pot I make the chili, and this is a 1-pot meal, typically seasoned with some salt, pepper, garlic powder, chili powder, cayenne pepper, cumin, paprika, really whatever. I do add some red pepper flakes too, because I like hot, like spicy chili. Once the ground beef is all cooked, I throw in the crushed tomatoes, diced tomatoes, black beans. I dice up some jalapenos. I do a little bit of Cholula hot sauce, and then season it all a little bit more with those same spices. Let it simmer for 30 minutes on like a very, very low, it's like gurgling, if you know what I mean. But I simmer for 30, and then I taste it once it is done simmering. And I typically have to season like a little bit more, but I'd rather that than like over seasoning it to start with. And then I always serve it with chips and cheese. Maybe that's just like a my family thing, but whenever I think about chili, I think about having it with like tortilla chips and cheese. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, we are back with the last dinner recipe for this video, my chicken Greek bowls. You can really make this meal however you please. Like, you can add whatever toppings you prefer. This is exactly how I like it though. Rice, my chicken, feta cheese, tzatziki, lettuce, diced up red onion, and diced up cucumber. I typically marinate my chicken for like 20 minutes to an hour before cooking it, but it's totally not necessary. I dice up my chicken breast into like small little pieces just so it cooks quicker, and I marinate it in olive oil, a little bit of fresh lemon juice, salt, pepper, minced garlic, and paprika. Once that's done marinating, aka once it's like time for me to cook dinner, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't always remember to marinate it. I have just seasoned it right as I'm making it, and it is just as good. But when I do think about it ahead of time, I like to let it sit in its marinade for a little bit. But cooks super quick on the stovetop. I cook some rice at the exact same time. The rice honestly takes the longest. And then once the rice is done, add it to my bowl. That's like my base. Then I add some shredded lettuce, feta cheese, tzatziki, diced up red onion, diced up cucumber, and my cooked chicken, and it is so freaking good. So filling, so satisfying, hits the spot every time. And yes, I have shared this recipe before, but I have all the ingredients for it in my grocery haul that I showed you guys, so I figured I may as well show this recipe again, especially since it is such a staple in our household. And like I said, so freaking good. If you haven't tried a Greek bowl of some sort yet, I highly recommend. And now that I've shared that recipe, I am actually gonna wrap this video up here. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my little Whole Foods grocery haul along with my staple meals and snacks. If you try any of them out, comment below, let me know what you think. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you all next time. Bye.